The fight between Jake Paul and Tommy Furry was one of the most anticipated of the year. After a fierce 8-round bout, both fighters had to defend the name and honor of their families. Both Jake Paul and Tommy Furry come from a boxing family. While Jake Paul is the brother of the controversial Logan Paul, Tommy Furry is the son of the legendary John Fury and brother of two-time world heavyweight boxing champion Tyson Fury. Even though Jake claims to be a boxer, he has never faced a full-time fighter like Tommy. Nevertheless, the fight between Fury and Paul revealed many interesting facts about both boxers. So, in this video, I'll tell you why Jake Paul never had a chance to beat Tommy Furry. But first, let's look at the most memorable fight moments. The best moments of the fight. One of the most impressive moments of the fight was Jake Paul's counterpunch to Tommy. As Fury prepared to strike Paul, he left his chin too exposed, which gave Jake the perfect opportunity to take him down. The next highlight is when Fury landed a brutal combination on Jake Paul. After throwing a punch to the body, Paul landed a barrage of punches before the round ended. As you can see, both fighters did relatively well in the ring. However, only one fighter can be considered superior to the other. So let's break down each round so you can understand why Jake Paul is a fake. The fight begins. The fight started with an aggressive Fury. Despite this, Paul quickly wrapped him up and nearly lifted him over the rope. One of the highlights of this round was Jake Paul's unusual head movement, which is unusual for the boxer. After a brief exchange of jabs and a lot of clinching, the round was called off. The start of the fight was quite disappointing, which makes sense for the two newcomers. It looked more like a wrestling competition than boxing. On the other hand, neither fighter landed too many punches, except for Paul, who landed an overhand, and Fury, who delivered a nice flurry in the final seconds. In the second round, Fury did a good job of keeping his distance. He landed quick jabs and a variety of power punches. This caused Paul to get frustrated and eat a counterpunch as he tried to corner Fury. However, in the third round, Paul landed some good jabs and a few left hooks, including one or two overhand rights. Fury preferred to recover in this round but still remained competitive. In the fourth round, Fury started throwing combination after combination, completely destroying Paul. Although Paul also landed some punches, Fury was clearly superior in every aspect of the round. In the fifth round, Paul worked to keep the distance with a long jab. However, Fury landed a jab and worked his way to connect with a nice 1-2 combination. Unfortunately, the action suddenly stopped when Paul was penalized for holding the back of Fury's neck. After the fight resumed, Paul connected with a powerful left that managed to hurt Fury. Nevertheless, Fury quickly recovered and landed a right hand on Paul. This brings us to round 6. As you might imagine, Fury also dominated the 6th round. However, he has docked a point for grabbing Paul. Despite this, he did not lose focus in the fight and was much more accurate with his punches. In fact, Fury connected with two powerful uppercuts, completely shattering the morale of the influencer who promised to give him a beating. However, it was not until the 7th round that the real action began. Fury began a series of sharp counterattacks as Paul charged in. On the other hand, Jake connected some jabs on Fury and landed a powerful left hook. But in response, Fury caught Paul with a right hand. Unfortunately, Fury suffered a cut on the outside of his left eye in this round due to a clash of heads. This round was much closer. However, Fury could have been more accurate with his punches. In the 8th round, Paul knocked Fury down with a fearsome jab. But unfortunately, Fury dominated the rest of the round and won by a points decision. Who deserved to become the winner? As you can see, Tommy Furry was far superior to Jake Paul in most rounds, both one way and the other. But why did he do so well compared to his opponent? First, Tommy Furry is a real boxer who has faced real boxers. He isn't short, small, old, or injured, nor is he a guy who doesn't have the slightest clue about boxing. The problem is that Jake Paul is a YouTuber used to facing inexperienced fighters in his debut fights. If a few wins against rookies and retired fighters made Jake Paul the greatest boxer of all time, the boxing world would be doomed. Meanwhile, Tommy Furry comes from a lineage of elite boxers and warriors. His father and brother have cornered all kinds of opponents against the ropes. For this reason, Jake never really had a chance against Fury. Tommy has more experience as a boxer and a world champion brother who has passed on to him all his secrets to victory. On the other hand, Jake is not the kind of fighter who can stand up to a fighter who offers real resistance. That is why he and his brother always pick weak opponents. Unfortunately, many think the Paul brothers have the slightest notion about fighting. But as Tommy Furry has shown, it only takes a series of powerful jabs to break an imposter's spirit. If Jake Paul were to face a fighter like Canelo, he wouldn't hesitate 2 minutes before getting his ass kicked. Yet, many fighters who have agreed to face the Paul brothers so far have done so for financial reasons. That's why Jake and his brother know how to pick their opponents. This time, however, they've made the wrong choice. If a Fury steps into the ring, there is no way a Paul can come out on top. Will Jake Paul and Tommy Furry face each other again? Despite everything mentioned in this video, Tommy Furry has indicated that he would be happy to have a rematch against Jake Paul. Given that it was his first 8-round fight, he didn't have the tools to knock him out, but he believes that the next time he faces Paul, he will make him bite the dust. Thanks to Jake's mistakes, Tommy Furry picked up the most media-worthy win of his career and extended his record to 9-0. And apparently, he also got double the money since before the fight. Both fighters agreed to a double-or-nothing bet that they sealed with a handshake. The handshake was on television, so there's no way Jake Paul can pretend he never agreed to this deal. Although they did not mention the bet amount then, British media reports indicate that Fury may have taken $4 million for the fight. If so, Paul would have to double this amount if he intended to keep his word. So now you know why so many people are willing to fight Jake Paul. With so much money on the line, it's virtually impossible for a novice fighter not to want to face one of the Paul brothers. But as far as technique and talent go, the Pauls are no boxing eminence. Does this mean that Jake Paul can't box? My critical analysis may lead you to believe that Jake Paul and Logan Paul are bad boxers. However, no one would be interested in watching them fight if they were so bad. First, it takes a minuscule boxing knowledge to knock a man out of the ring. So should the rematch happen, it's possible that Jake could put on a good show for us. But for that to happen, he'll have to be willing to add more training hours to close the gap on his opponent. After all, he's only been training professionally for 3 years, so he's at a disadvantage against other fighters who have made boxing their lifestyle. Just for your reference, Mike Tyson started boxing at the age of 13. That's why the Paul brothers still have a long way to go. Among all his wins, Jake Paul has defeated the YouTuber Nesson Gibb, retired basketball player Nate Robinson, and retired MMA fighter Ben Askren. He has also beaten Tyron Woodley but will need more training to beat Tommy Furry. But what do you think about Jake Paul's skills as a boxer? Do you believe he'll do better in the rematch? I'll be reading you in the comments. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video to keep supporting us. I will see you in the next video.